Important note, this video is not financial advice. Always do your own research before making any investment decision. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Here's your market briefing from Rumour with AI. Crypto markets are witnessing an unprecedented intersection of digital assets and political finance. Republican candidate Michael Carbonara has liquidated 10 Bitcoin, securing $800,000 to fund his congressional bid in Florida's 22nd district. This move signals a growing trend of leveraging volatile digital holdings for traditional campaign war chests, potentially impacting short-term Bitcoin liquidity as large wallets shift positions. Meanwhile, the global energy landscape is undergoing a sharp correction. China's crude imports have plummeted to a 10-year low of 6.78 million barrels per day. Refiners are aggressively drawing from strategic reserves rather than purchasing new spot cargo, a direct response to lingering geopolitical price shocks and weakening domestic demand. This structural shift in the world's largest importer is exerting downward pressure on global benchmark crude prices. In Europe, equity markets are reflecting deep-seated anxiety. The Moscow MOEX index hit a 6-month low, flatlining with zero net change as investors flee risk. Conversely, safe haven assets are rallying. Gold surged 1.34% to $4,593 an ounce. BCA research warns that current equity rallies are fragile, masked by hopes for ceasefires in Iran and Ukraine. They argue these diplomatic developments are insufficient to offset persistent energy risks, suggesting a potential reversal in risk sentiment if geopolitical tensions escalate again. On the trade front, regional dynamics are shifting. Ecuador has lifted bilateral tariffs on June 1, following an agreement with Colombian presidential candidate Abelardo de la Espriella. This policy change ends a months-long trade dispute, reshaping Andean trade flows and potentially boosting cross-border logistics volumes in the region. Looking ahead to today's release, the macroeconomic calendar is dominated by Chinese data. At 1:30 Universal Time Coordinated, the NBS Manufacturing PMI will be released, with a previous reading of 50.3. This indicator is critical for gauging whether the drop in crude imports is a temporary adjustment or a sign of deeper industrial contraction. Simultaneously, at 1:45 Universal Time Coordinated, the Caixin Manufacturing PMI, previously at 52.2, will provide a private sector perspective on China's economic health. These figures will dictate immediate flows in Asian equities and the yuan. Additionally, watch for Turkey's GDP growth rate at 7 o'clock Universal Time Coordinated, forecast at 0.9% quarter-over-quarter, up from 0.4%. This will offer insight into emerging market resilience amid global trade fragmentation. That's your market briefing. Follow Rumour with AI for daily market intelligence.